Don't forget me.
Oh, Sarah. Don't you forget me.
Bye, Doctor.
Bye.
With my king. King?
He's slightly giving it the beans, Eldrad, here, isn't he?
Hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation. We have reached the finale of The Hand of Fear. Very exciting. I'm Thomas, and I'm joined, as always, by
Paul.
What are you excited for in this finale, Paul?
Oh, well, I'm interested to see this cliffhanger resolution and how they're going to resolve the whole thing, but this was, quite a dramatic end, wasn't it?
What's going to happen to Eldrad? So where did that come from? Who was the sniper?
Sounds like a booby trap, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's just about to say exactly the same.
Oh no. Was that it?
It is I, Eldrad.
Oh. Hey.
Eldrad? Oh, suit.
Still a good design, isn't it? Even though I don't think it's quite as good as the female Eldrad. The rock kind of crystal thing still looks really good.
Yeah. And it's cool how the moustache also looks like it's made of crystals.
Yeah.
With my king. King?
He's slightly giving it the beans, Eldrad, here, isn't he?
Yeah, you can tell by Sarah's expression, he's become more menacing.
Slightly over the top in the delivery there.
Also, because they're finding out the real truth about Eldrad, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's quite clever how it's playing with your empathy, because you feel gutted when you think Eldrad has been killed in that machine, and then you're like, oh great, Eldrad survived. Oh, is Eldrad bad?
Huh.
Is this my reward?
Giant quality street in the middle of the room there.
Yeah.
It is mine
This is a very out there performance.
Seems to have solved the problem for us.
Yeah.
Fantastic solution.
You know, I might as well be talking to the moon. You don't even listen to me.
Mergin nut.
What?
No. Forget the Mergin nut. I'll have the Ganymede driver.
There.
Yep.
Oh, I must be mad. I'm sick of being cold and wet and hypnotised left, right and centre. I'm sick of being shut at, savaged by bug-eyed monsters, never knowing if I'm coming or going or being.
Zeus blood.
Oh, I want a bath. I want my hair washed. I just want to feel human again.
Forget the Zeus plug. I'll have the sonic screwdriver.
Oh, and boy, am I sick of that sonic screwdriver. Oh. I'm going to pack my goodies and I'm going home. I said, I'm going to pack my goodies and I am going home. Excuse me.
I don't know why she goes on like this. There's really nothing the matter at all.
Call from Gallifrey. Gallifrey. After all this time. Gallifrey. Can't take Sarah to Gallifrey. Must get her back home. Must reset the coordinates. South Croydon. You're a good girl, Sarah.
Oh, look, it's too late apologising now. Everything's packed. I've got to go.
How did you know?
What?
I've had the call from Gallifrey.
So?
So I can't take you with me. You've got to go.
Oh, come on. I can't miss Gallifrey. Look, I was only joking. I didn't mean it. Hey, you're not going to regenerate again, are you?
Not this time. I don't know what's going to happen.
You're playing one of your jokes on me, just trying to make me stay.
No. I've received the call, and as a Time Lord I must obey.
Alone.
Yes.
And I'll give your love to Harry and the Brigadier. Oh, and I can tell Professor Watson that you're all right.
We've landed, Sarah.
What?
We've landed.
Where?
South Croydon. Hillview Road, to be exact.
That's my home. Well, I'll be off then. Yeah.
Thanks.
Don't forget me.
Oh, Sarah. Don't you forget me.
Bye, Doctor.
Bye.
You know, travel does broaden the mind.
Yes. Till we meet again, Sarah.
This isn't Hillview Road. But it isn't even South Croydon. Oh, he blew it. Hey, hey, you, he blew it.
There we go.
Wow. You kept that very quiet.
Well, you know, I mean, I knew that about the story.
Wow. Okay. Gosh. Yeah, that was quite a nicely done departure, actually, wasn't it? The way she was complaining and then he wasn't listening. He was just repairing the TARDIS. And then she's like, right, I'm leaving. And then he independently decides, oh, Sarah needs to go.
Yeah.
And then it becomes quite emotional and she's like, don't forget me. And he's like, oh, Sarah, don't you forget me.
It's quite nice because it doesn't really, the story doesn't particularly telegraph that ending, does it? Sometimes you get a story and you go, you know, the person is making lots of references to being, you know, time to go and they want to do the other things and you kind of go, oh, I get the sense they're going. There was one or two things. I think maybe back in episode 1, she maybe said one line at one point, but it's so innocuous that if you don't know she's going, you don't pick up on it necessarily. And I wasn't sure whether there would be many references to it through the story, you know, because as I said, I don't really know the story very well. So I wasn't sure whether you would clock the whole thing before we got there, but I don't think it really, well, it doesn't give it away as far as, I mean, I don't think you really, you were aware that was going to happen. So.
No, I had no idea. Yeah. Gosh. And is it spoilers to say if she returns again?
Well, I mean, we know she returns.
I mean, before school reunion.
Yeah, she might make a return at some stage, but that's the Sarah
That's the
Jane.
end of her official kind of time as companion.
Yeah, you know, so she's gone from, you know, she's done a whole season with Pertwee and then sort of 2.5 seasons with Baker.
Yeah,
There's 3.5 seasons sort of in total, and yeah, I mean, a lot of people see her and Tom Baker in particular as just the pinnacle of sort of doctor companion relationships, really.
Yeah, no, that was very, very well done, actually. Yeah. Gosh, that's a big moment.
Good for her to get a proper send off as well. Like, even though it is quite sudden, they give time to it, don't they? And they allow it to play out. And
it is a bit of a weird story for it to happen in a way. I did kind of think, oh, it feels like we've wrapped up the Eldrad situation quite quickly. What's going to happen in the rest of this episode? And
I think and if anything, if the whole episode was the Eldrad thing, it's probably slightly where the story begins to drop the ball a little bit. It's not quite as strong, I don't think, as the first 3 episodes. Sort of once it gets to Castria, and just the Eldrad, the guy playing Eldrad it's quite an over the top performance, isn't it? Like,
I was going to mention that it was
chewing
quite
the scenery,
chubby, wasn't it?
So and the ending with the sort of even the tripping over the scarf. I mean, it's a slightly silly idea anyway, but also the fact that he doesn't trip over it particularly well. It's not greatly sort of executed either.
Yeah, Eldrad in the previous episode was more interesting. I think here it was
Yeah,
quite. They kind of went.
absolutely.
I mean, I quite like the concept of someone who is a villain. You go through a time wondering if they're not.
Yeah,
That's interesting, but it was quite hammy, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
The transition to pure evil, and
But
yeah,
but I do love the what I really liked was the idea that he was too late,
yes,
and that they'd actually chosen, rather than be possibly subject to him again. It's quite something to decide to choose oblivion and destruction and even destroy all those race banks, and having that guy on the video saying Hail Eldrad, King of Nothing,
yes.
was I thought was really well done. So I think it's
There's
really
something slightly pathetic about Eldrad.
yeah, just standing in the ruins of this planet and he's
Yeah,
got no one to rule. So there's
yeah.
some really nice ideas in there, I think. But yeah, as you say, Eldrad as a character, I think is far more interesting as the female version in the previous episode, and even the beginning of this part of the story.
One thing I didn't point out at the time was that scene where Eldrad says, "I shall be their god, and you shall take me back." That whole kind of monologue. You couldn't see the facial expressions at all, completely kind of in shadow, the face. And I thought that worked quite nicely, actually. The moodiness of it.
Yeah,
I've noticed that with quite a lot of the Baker era, the need, not always needing to light people's faces well, but sometimes we just see Baker's silhouette, and that's enough for a shot. We don't always need to see everything clearly, and I quite like that, actually.
yeah.
Atmospheric.
So I mean, it's still it's still got a great little bit there, great little sort of endings to the story. But I think of course, the big thing everybody knows about Hand of Fear, of course, is that it's Sarah's last story. So that's that ending there, and of course as well, it's just not only is it kind of a send off for her, but it gives you an air of intrigue as well, doesn't it? Because we have the Doctor receiving the call to Gallifrey and saying, I've received the call, and as a Time Lord, I must obey, and
Yeah.
So we're now thinking, well, what now? What happens next? Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking?
That is an intriguing premise. You're like, why is he being summoned? Something to do with the Daleks or the Timeless Child? No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
But the last time they communicated with him was Genesis of the Daleks, right?
well, yes, but didn't they? There was a suggestion at the beginning of the Brain of Morbius that they'd sort of directed him there.
Oh, yes.
He was sort of
yes.
ranting at the sky a little bit, wasn't he? Like,
Yes, that's true.
so there was a little bit of a sense that he was slightly at their beck and call if they wanted him to do things.
He's sort of got them on internal Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of intriguing. And that makes for quite a good reason for why Sarah has to go. He's like, this is something I must do alone.
Yeah, and it gets referenced in School Reunion, David Tennant, as the 10th Doctor says, I got called back to Gallifrey. He said in those days humans weren't allowed.
Right. Yes.
So, yeah, it makes for a good reason for her to step away.
Yeah.
Because, actually, it is, as you kind of get that sense at the end when he turns around and says, well, she says, I'm going to go. And he says, well, how did you know? And then she starts to try and backtrack.
Yeah.
Actually, there isn't really a reason she would go. She clearly loves traveling with the Doctor and all the stuff she's doing.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a good. It's hard to find a good reason for why she would just decide to stop all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
So actually having it forced upon her is a really good way to get around that, and makes it sort of slightly more poignant as well, because clearly the doctor doesn't want her to go and she doesn't want to go either. It's a circumstance that they've been forced apart,
Yes. Yeah.
which of course School Reunion then picks up on really well. That idea of her being dropped off and having to then pick up her life after that.
Yeah, it makes me realise that because we're watching the modern era without the classic era baggage. I knew it was a big moment, obviously, Sarah Jane coming back to the show, but that must have hit in a different way if you'd grown up with the classic era. And
I
then
still
she
remember
returns.
like watching School Reunion. I was in my first year of uni at the time,
Yeah,
and we watched it in the hall in our hall of residence common room. Like someone had said, "Oh, oh, we'll put it on the telly." There were loads of people in the room. Like, I mean, that just goes to show what the show was at that point. That
yeah,
bunch of students who weren't necessarily like big sci-fi people, but people wanted to watch this show. And I remember watching that moment where she sees the TARDIS in School Reunion, and it kind of pans. She steps back, and it kind of
yes,
pans round, and then you see David Tennant's Doctor, and he says, "Hello, Sarah Jane." And I just think I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is like massive,"
yeah, yeah,
It's like it's a huge moment for people who've grown up with the show, and also because that was what 1975 or whatever it was, maybe 1976, and obviously that was then that was kind of 2006 maybe.
yeah, something like
It's nearly in reality sort of 30 years
that. Yeah,
in real world time, almost 30 years really since she's been in the show. And of course it was probably and she was the first it's the first time in the modern era really we'd had any returning people, I think. We'd had returning monsters,
yeah,
Daleks and things, but I don't think there was nothing in season one, was there? Like, I don't think there was any particular person. So to actually have her come back, and I think what it did as well is it really helped marry the classic and the modern together as well.
yes,
This is the same show, it is the same characters. And of course, the fact that she gets her own TV show,
yeah,
just shows the impact that the character had on that on the sort of Doctor Who universe, the way that the regard the character was held in. Because, there's no the Dodo Chaplet adventures or whatever. Like,
she's having a lovely time in the country and she's feeling much better now. Yeah,
can you imagine? Like, but yeah. But I was thinking though the other day because I knew it was coming, and I was kind of thinking like, oh, in a sense, it feels like we've only just got on board with her.
yeah.
But of course, it is like I say, 3.5 seasons really.
It's maybe good. It's maybe a good sign when a companion leaves that you're like not ready for them to go. You want more from
Yeah.
them. The companions that you are ready for them to go is. Yeah, no, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's interesting that it feels quick because you and I, in a sense, we're watching this. Obviously, we're watching these much quicker than they would have come out. That would have been 3.5 years worth of time. And
Yeah.
obviously, we're watching it a lot quicker. But still, we're watching them comparatively slowly. We're getting through, like 3 episodes a week or something because of, timetables and schedules. If you'd watched those back to back, if you'd sat and you'd watch one every day,
Yeah,
you'd probably, in the space of sort of 3 weeks, you'd be basically done, but it just feels, in a sense, like she's not been around that long. But of course, in reality, that was 3.5 years of Doctor Who, and she was just an established part of the show, really. And she'd married together sort of 2 doctors as well, so she was the crossover person
yeah,
between Pertwee and Baker.
yeah. First story she was in was the Centauran one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Time Warrior.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, so she had a little bit of the unit family as well, the Brigadier and Benton and Yates. So she's really kind of spanned quite a change.
Seen a lot of action. Yeah.
And obviously she's in the series at the point at which a lot of, these last two seasons and this season particularly as well, generally like people consider to be some of the absolute high points of the show. So she's really in it in the golden era.
Yeah.
She's sort of the I mean, I guess if you think about the modern era, you think of sort of the Tennant years.
Yeah. Kind of the
Maybe,
golden age of the modern era in a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
ways.
And it's a bit like that with Baker, and of course she's right there in the thick of it. So,
Yeah. So maybe Sarah Jane is kind of the key ingredient of good Doctor Who.
maybe, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all downhill after this. Like, no, not really. There's still lots of good stuff to come. I mean, the rest of this season is going to be really good, and I'm particularly looking forward to the next story. I mean, the next story is a story I am very familiar with,
Yeah.
and of course, it's it's gonna go. We're not hanging about now in terms of picking up what we've just finished. Where we've just left off with the call from Gallifrey. It's not really a spoiler to say that we're not going to park that for a few seasons. We're just going to crack straight on. So
Right, yeah. It's not going to do a Chibnall or a Russell T Davies.
yeah, just drop that fob watch into the console, middle of the console, and disappear.
Omega's back. Oh wait, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Susan's back. Oh wait, no,
Oh no, she's not. Oh no, she isn't. Oh dear
mate.
me.
Well, no, this has been fun. No, an emotional but well done ending.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see people's comments below. And I mean, I'd be interested to know what people think of the Hand of Fear in general. And probably already people will have seen some of the comments on the first 3 episodes by the time this goes out. But it'll be fascinating to see people's thoughts on this final episode, both from the point of view of, does the stuff on Castria not work quite as well, but also just, the Sarah Jane send off, that's I imagine that will take up quite a large part of the comment section for this one.
Yes.
So
Totally. Yeah, no, guys, do let us know about that and do check out Discord and Patreon for the full commentary tracks. But thanks for watching.
take care. I'm going to take my goodies. I'm going home.